This is AI Command App News. Here's what's moving the markets today. The headline number this morning is almost hard to believe. Google has agreed to pay SpaceX $920 million a month for compute capacity. Not a year, a month. The deal runs 32 months, which puts the total at roughly $29 billion. And the capacity is coming from the data centers SpaceX operates for Elon Musk's AI company, XAI. So let's unpack what's actually happening here, because it tells you everything about the state of the AI economy in 2026. A Google spokesperson said the deal was driven by, quote, unexpected demand for its recently launched AI products. Translate that out of corporate language and it means this. Google's own data centers, some of the most advanced computing infrastructure on the planet, are not enough. The company is so short on compute that it is renting capacity from a rocket company, and it's doing it ahead of what's expected to be the largest IPO in history. Why this matters for business and for the markets? Compute has become the scarcest resource in technology. When a company with Google's resources has to lease capacity by the month at these prices, it tells you that the cost of intelligence is being set by supply, not demand. Every business that rents AI from a major provider is downstream of that scarcity. The pricing pressure flows directly to you. And this is the second story because it's connected. SpaceX is gearing up for that record-breaking IPO, and analysts are already saying it matters even if you never buy a single share. Why? Because deals like this one are turning SpaceX into critical AI infrastructure, not just a launch provider. When a rocket company becomes a compute landlord, the lines between aerospace, AI, and the broader market start to blur, and that reprices entire sectors. Story 3. Apple. On Monday, at its developer conference, Apple is expected to reintroduce Siri, and reporting this week suggests the new Siri will be powered by Google's Gemini. Sit with that. The most valuable company in the world, with the deepest engineering bench in technology, is reportedly renting its flagship AI from a direct competitor. For investors, the signal is clear. Even the giants are concluding that building frontier models in-house is no longer worth it. The dependency is moving up the food chain. Story 4 ties the whole thread together. Anthropic. The company just raised $65 billion at a $965 billion valuation and filed confidentially for an IPO. Founded in 2021, it's on track to cross $1 trillion in roughly 5 years. For reference, it took Apple 42 years to get there. The entire industry is consolidating around a handful of model providers, and the public markets are about to get a lot more exposure to them. And story 5, the counterweight. While the giants scramble for compute, New York State Legislature just passed a 1-year moratorium on new large data centers, the first statewide ban of its kind. If Governor Hochul signs it, lawmakers get a year to study the impact of data center sprawl on the grid and the environment. For the markets, this is the first real sign that the physical build-out behind the AI boom is going to hit political and regulatory limits. Energy stocks, utilities, and real estate all sit downstream of where these data centers can actually go. So here's the through line for business leaders and investors. The AI boom is now a compute boom, and compute is physical. It needs land, power, and capital at a scale that's straining even the largest companies and starting to run into the law. Watch 3 things. The names supplying compute, like the chip makers, Marvell and Flex, are joining the S&P 500 later this month for exactly this reason. Watch the energy and utility names that power these sites, and watch the regulatory map, because where compute is allowed to be built is becoming as important as who builds it. The takeaway isn't that the AI trade is over, it's that it's maturing from a software story into an infrastructure story with all the costs, constraints, and dependencies that come with owning physical things. The companies that control their own stack instead of renting it by the month are the ones with leverage. That's your AI news for today from AI Command App. We'll see you tomorrow.